many more that need help. For only $9 a month, you can be an abandoned baby angel. Please call that toll-free number on the screen and say, I'll give $9 a month. We've got so many more children like Christopher and Mercy and Ben and Elizabeth and Henry and Lucy. And the list, well, it just goes on and on and on and on. Please call right now, only $9 a month, and say, I'll be an ABC angel. If you'd like to, go to our website, or if you'd rather write out a check today and drop it in the mail, make it out to ABC. Send it to Box 9. That's Oklahoma City, zip 73101.
When I was in one of Nairobi's worst slums, a worried aunt brought a sick baby to the clinic. Born prematurely, he is severely underweight. He has a fungus infection in his mouth and a severe diaper rash. It's too soon to know if he has AIDS. His Aunt Alice told me that Stephen's mother died 2 weeks ago. The baby's father came home and found her dead, with Stephen lying nearby. Alice wants to take care of Stephen, but she herself is sick with tuberculosis. She has little money for infant formula or milk. When I told her we would be happy to take him to the ABC Center, she didn't hesitate. I met her there the next day. Little Stephen is so small. He almost drowns in his big clothes. His face reminds me of an old man, with its traces of pain and suffering. Just think, this baby is only 4 weeks old. He only felt his mother's touch for 2 weeks, and he has been hungry ever since. As AIDS sweeps through Africa, it's not just mothers and fathers who are dying, it's aunts and uncles, grandmothers and grandfathers. Who is left to care for helpless babies like Stephen? It's up to people like you and me. When you call with your gift of $9 a month, you become an ABC angel. Your compassion reaches out to a helpless baby, a child who's hungry and suffering, and you bring help and hope. Your gift will provide nourishing food, round-the-clock medical care, a stimulating environment, and lots of love and attention. In the past month, little Stephen has experienced more heartache than some of us endure in a lifetime. Please, for the sake of one suffering baby, call right now.
If a tornado came through Kenya and killed over 700 people, TV cameras from all over the world would be here, as well as newspaper reporters and photographers. It would be news, world news. Well, AIDS is sweeping through Kenya right now, killing over 700 people a day. I don't know what it's going to take for the world to go from apathy to sympathy to empathy to action. Here's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to become an ABC angel. You say, what does that mean, Larry? It means putting your hand in the hand of a 1-month-old baby and saying, I'll help. I'll give $9 a month. Please, call the toll-free number now and say, I'll give $9 a month. I want to help Stephen and other children like him. By the way, we'd like to send you an ABC Angel pin. You can wear it with pride. Please, call right now.
Around the world today, 14 million children have lost a mother or a father to AIDS. As the disease tightens its grip, more children than ever before are hungry, sick, and suffering. Those at the greatest risk of dying are the babies. Recognizing a catastrophe in the making, Feed the Children opened the Francis Jones Abandoned Baby Center in Nairobi, Kenya. Today, with the center nearly full, our vision is to open ABC centers in other countries, whether it's Kenya, South Africa, or Honduras. We want to be there. We want to offer food, hope, and a loving home to the smallest victims of this terrible epidemic. Right now, your compassion is urgently needed. With your gift of only $9 a month, you can help save the life of an orphan or an abandoned baby. Even if AIDS rates begin to fall, nothing can stop the tide of suffering that will sweep across the world in the next decade. Please, reach out to an innocent baby. Help a child who's all alone in the world. Call right now.
The call came in the middle of a Friday afternoon. A social worker at another agency had a desperately sick baby who urgently needed a home. The social worker asked, "Did the ABC Center have room?" And I was there within the hour.
Both abandoned the child.
The social worker told me that 7-month-old Silas had been abandoned by both parents. His aging grandmother, who is half blind and sick, had brought him from a faraway city. This was the second time she had made the trip. She knew that without help, little Silas would die.
He seems very weak.
Yeah, he's quite weak.
Looking at the baby, I could tell he needed medical attention right away. A test had just indicated he was HIV positive. His grandmother was grateful that we would care for him.
Let's go take a bath and put some clean clothes on.
At the center, the nurse took Silas immediately, and when she removed his clothes, I felt sick. I'd never seen a child so covered with scabies, tiny bumps that were all over his small body. Inside each, a tiny animal was tunneling under the skin. In addition, Silas was so malnourished that the skin on his little neck and legs folded like an old man's. He had no buttocks at all. He did have ear infections, thrush in his throat, and a belly full of worms. Like any baby, Silas is utterly helpless. He can't lift a finger to feed himself. He can't wash himself. He can't even tell anyone where he's hurting. And this baby is hurting all over. Thank God that we have the ABC Center and that caring people like you have reached out to children like Silas. This little boy and many other babies have no chance of surviving without our help. When you call with the gift of $9 a month, you give life-saving food to children like Silas. You give a baby a warm bed to sleep in and medical care when they're sick. It's only $9 a month, but to a baby like Silas, it's the gift of life itself. When you call, we'll send you pictures of babies at the ABC Center and regular updates on their progress. You'll also receive this special ABC Angel Pin. Watching the nurse give Silas a bath, I realized that this child had never been in a tub before. Please, other children like Silas urgently need our help. Call right now.
I hope if you haven't called already that you will go to your phone and make that call. The number's on your screen. You can actually help save the life of Silas and other babies just like him by making that call. It's $9 a month. It's the most important $9 you may ever spend. If you want to put it on your credit card, you can do that. If you want to write a check out, you can make it out to Feed the Children, Post Office Box 9, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 73101. But please, open a door for this child to walk through. You can do that. You can make a difference for $9 a month. Please help us with little babies like Silas. It is a life or death matter.
I think one of the frustrating things that I personally have experienced is the millions upon millions of dollars that's being put into advertising and saying, stop AIDS. AIDS needs to be stopped. There's no doubt about it. But on the other side of the coin, there are literally millions upon millions of children and babies, and very little money is being spent for their care. And this frustrates me. One of the things that helps me to continue is that when I come to the ABC Center and I look at a baby that's underweight, that's sick, that's HIV positive, and the doctors basically say, this child has no chance. And then 4 months later, I come back, and this child has gone from being HIV positive to HIV negative. And I see chubby cheeks, and I see a child crawling around on the floor. And when you look at the child, the child smiles. It's almost like the door opens and their little arms go up, and you reach down and you pick up that child, and you realize, had we not been here, this child would probably be in the graveyard. When you've got a lot of people giving $9, what a difference, what a great difference it can make, literally, between life and death. And I want to say to people, wake up. We can save these babies if you'll help us.
During our last trip to Kenya, a group of pastors headed by Bishop Charles Blake of Los Angeles joined us.
Bishop, I'd like to welcome you to the Francis Jones Abandoned Baby Center.
It's a wonderful privilege to be here, Brother Jones, and thank you for allowing us to come. We're so proud of the work that you're doing all over the world, and especially here in Kenya.
I took the pastors through the ABC complex. The cottages with the babies made a strong impression.
Any investment that can save one life like this
yes. It's
a good investment, isn't it?
After visiting a number of children, I asked the bishop how he felt about the center.
Within these walls, it's an altogether different world, and it's for children, children who could not help themselves, who would not be able to provide for themselves, children who would be dead without your help, that they have a place that is as nice as many places in the United States, where they're adequately fed 5 meals a day, where they're getting medical care and a lot of love, is just a blessing of God. And that individuals have stood with you and supported this ministry and enabled you to do this is something that causes me to feel great pleasure. And it enforces and reinforces my commitment to get all the people I can get to contribute and to share so that we can have many more of these orphanages across the continent of Africa.
Barely a month ago, Grace's mother died of AIDS. She left behind $1 and several hungry children. Within the past year, these children have lost every adult who mattered to them. First their aunt died, and then their grandfather, and then their mother was gone. 12-year-old Elizabeth feeds, bathes, and sleeps with Grace. Grace cries all the time, and her fingers never leave her little mouth. Imagine a child trying to care for a crying 5-month-old. Elizabeth knows how to change a diaper, but she can't nurse Grace, and she has no idea of what to do when Grace is sick. For dinner, Elizabeth looks for corn in their small garden. Unfortunately, most of it has been destroyed by bugs. She finds one little ear that her sister shucks to eat that night. When neighbors told Elizabeth about the ABC Center, she didn't hesitate. She bundled up Grace and brought her. She knew that at the center, her little sister would have the chance to live. Looking at Grace, you can tell that she now feels secure and protected. Even a baby knows the difference between a home stricken by grief and hunger and a place filled with hope and life. Please think how much it means for a baby to have a sense of love and comfort during the critical first few months of life. And then go to your phone. Now, when you call with a gift of only $9 a month, you'll become an ABC Angel. You'll help provide food and medical care and life-saving attention to little babies like Grace. With your call, you'll receive pictures of children like those you're helping and regular updates on their progress. We'll also send you this lovely ABC Angel pin as our special thank you. Near Grace's home the other day, a rainbow appeared in the sky. I think it was a sign of hope and life for one